let's get started with this past paper, which is a paper 2. It's of October, November 2022, the first variant, which is 21. The instructions are the same as before. Let's look at the first question. The first question looks like a question of everyday maths and percentages, and then simple interest, and then compound interest. So let's get started with the first one. So now in the first question, it says, the person Abid works in an office for 5 days each week. Each day he works from 8:15 until 12:40, and then from 13:30 until 1700. Work out the total time Abid works in 1 week. Give your answer in hours and minutes. So first of all, let me label this thing as everyday math. And the first part, this is related to the time difference, the 24-hour clock. Now, the first thing is 8:15 till 12:40. So basically, it's 8:15, 9:15, 10:15, 11:15, 12:15. So this is 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, and then from 15 till 40. So that is how many minutes? That is 25 minutes. So this is 4 hours and 25 minutes. That is the time in the first half. Now in the second half, that is 13:30 until 1700. So that is basically 13:30, 14:30, 15:30, 16:30, and then 1700. So this is 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, and half an hour. So this is 3 hours and 30 minutes. So now add the hours to the hours. 4 plus 3 is 7. 25 plus 30, that's below an hour. That is 55 minutes. That is the amount that that person works per day. So now wait a minute. This is per day. So this is 7 hours and then 55 minutes per day. Is it asking per day? Is it asking in 1 week? A week consists of 5 days. So now let's multiply 5 into 7. That is 35 hours. And 5 into 55, that is 250 plus 25, 275 minutes. Now let me break this up into hours and minutes. So 275 is basically 60 into 4, which is 240. And 250, 260, 270, and 35 minutes. So this is 240. So basically this is 4 hours and 25 minutes. Actually, 35 minutes, not 25, because it's 240 till 275. So 4 hours and then 35 minutes. Now add everything up. So we have 7 hours. We have 4 hours. Actually, 7 into 5 is 35 hours. This is 4 hours. So that is 39 hours. And then we are left with 35 minutes. That is the total number of hours per week Abid works. So basic question, but you have to be careful. You can't underestimate any question. Now it says Abid earns $14.20 per hour. He's given a pay increase of 5%. Calculate the amount Abid earns per hour after the increase. So the original, and this is final, the increase thing. So if the original is 100, a 5% increase will make it 105. If the original is 14.20, the final is X. So cross multiply like this. So therefore, X into 100 is 14.20 into 105. Let me make X the subject. That's 14.20, 105 divided by 100. So let me multiply, and this comes out to be 14.91. So that is the answer for this part. Part C. each month, Abid divides his earning between rent, bill, and savings. So there is rent, then there is bill, and then there is savings. He uses 20% of his earnings for rent. So 20% is 20 over 100. We are just looking for the ratio. So that's 20 over 100. That is 1:5. 3/8 that goes into the bill, and savings is the rest. So rest is 1 minus the sum of 1 over 5 plus 3 over 8. This is 1 minus 5 and 8 is 40. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. 8 into 1, that's 8. 40 divided by 8 is 5. 5 into 3 is 15. 8 plus 15 is 23. 1 minus 23 over 40 show every step. That comes out to be 17 over 40. So now we have rent, we have bill, we have savings. This is 1 over 5. This is 3 over 8. This is 17 over 40. We need the ratio. So what we can do is that, let me take this and let me multiply and divide by 8. Why? Because I want to convert the denominator to 40. So this becomes 8 over 40. Let me take 3 over 8 and multiply and divide by 5. So 8 into 5 is 40 again, and 3 into 5 is 15. And the last one is 17 over 40. So since they all have a common denominator of 40, so that cancels out, and we are left with 8 is to 15 is to 17. 8 is to 15 is to 17. That is the ratio. The next question. This time it's about Abid invests $2,400 in savings account for 4 years. The account pays a simple interest. So it's about simple interest. Let me write down the formula. I is equals to PRT over 100. This is your P, the principal amount. This is T. The percentage per year is unknown. So this is unknown. Keep in mind that when we do this calculation, it is necessary that this time period and this percentage period should be the same. So since the percentage period will be constant, the time period should follow suit. At the end of 4 years, he receives a total of 153.60. That means from 153.60 in interest. Okay, so that is this value, which is this thing, which is I. So now everything is given, just make R the subject. So let me write 153.60, P is 2400, R is R, T is 4 divided by this value, which is 100. So 15360, I have multiplied these two, divided by 2400 into 4 is R. So therefore, the value of R comes out to be 1.6. That is the percentage. Calculate the value of R. And over here, you can even use a small r instead of the big R. And let me write this thing. So that is the R, which we made the subject. Okay, now this one, it says Abid invests money in a different savings account. This account pays compound interest. So value of that thing. So value of investment in a compound interest, that equals to P bracket 1 plus R over 100 raised to power of N. Now let me explain how to use it. This account pays a compound interest at a rate of 1.4% per year. So this R is 1.4%. Then it says at the end of 5 years, that is the period, that's the value of N. There is 18330 in the account. So therefore, this value is basically the value of investment, not just the interest, the total. The principal plus the interest is this much. Calculate the amount that Abid invested. So the amount of money Abid invests, that is P. So basically, we are looking for P. So value of investment is 1822.38. P is unknown. 1 plus 1.4 over 100 raised to power of n, that is 5. So let me first evaluate 1.4 over 100. First of all, this value, and let me open up the calculator, hold for a second. 1.4 divided by 100, that is this much, plus 1. And let me raise it to a power of this thing. So raise it, answer, I'm looking for this, raised to power of 5. This comes out to be P, and this is 1.07198. 1822.38. So therefore, I'm looking for the reciprocal button, and hold for a second. So therefore, this is 1822.38 divided by 1.07198, and this comes out to be 1700.01306, but I'll write P as 1700 because this is given correct to 3 significant figures. So this question is done. Now let's move on to the next question, and this looks like a question of scatter diagram, line of Bisfit, and all these things. So this is statistics, and in stats, it's about scatter diagram, something very basic, very simple. Now, we did one question, and I forgot to do one thing that we do in each paper, that is draw some lines, and we need to look at the time period because we are practicing for the exam. So make sure the time period is all good, all clear. So first of all, start, end, time taken in minutes, everyday maths, and number of questions. So I think this first question took around, I think we started at 11:22. Let me write this thing. So 11:22, and then we will work this out. Okay, so now let's look at this question. The table shows the ages and heights of 10 boys. That's the age. It's randomly arranged, and the height, and it seems like it will have a positive correlation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points have been plotted, and we have to complete. Complete means plot the rest of the points. That is this one, this one, this one, and this one. So 13, 158, 13, 150. Okay. So 13 is there, 158 and 150. So 13 is somewhere over here. This is 12, 150, that's 1 point. And then in the same line, 158, that's this point. So 2 points are there. 16, 160, 16 and 160, 16 and 160 is this one. And 17 and 175. So 17, this is 16, 175, something like this. So these 4 points are plotted. And it's better that you draw small crosses because crosses are more visible than dots. So now this thing is done. First dot, then cross. Let me write it. First dot, then cross to make it more visible. Okay, so now draw the line and something like that. So first of all, let me grab a green marker and let me draw the first line just randomly. 3 points above, 4 points below. Let me just make it better. Okay, this one, I think it's good enough. Why? Because there are these 3 points that are actually 2 points that are there. No, it's not balanced. It's not balanced. So you have to do something like this. 5 points are left above, 5 points are left below. This is good. So this is 1 point on it. And then there are 4 points below, 1, 2, 3, 4 below. And then there are 4 above or 5 above, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is justice. And that's how the line is drawn. First part done, second part done. Use your line of best fit to estimate the height of a 14-year-old boy. So 14-year-old boy, let me go, draw a line, touch the graph, go left. And this is how much? 150 and 160. There are 5 boxes. Each box is 2 units. So this is 152, 156, 150, 154, 156, 157. 156 or 157, that looks like it. So let me write 157 centimeters. Simon is 22 years old. Why your line of best fit should not be used to estimate his height? Now, first of all, the data that's given to us, the lowest age is, I think, 10, and the highest age is 18. So 22 is not part of the range. So this is called extrapolation. You are going outside of the range. That's not recommended. So explain why a line of best fit should not be used, because 22 is not part of data, part of range. That is why we should not use it. That means 22 or something greater than 22. 22 or greater than 22 is not part of range. So if it was part of range, I would have plotted, excuse me, 22 and maybe a 200, something like this. And then they asked me a question about 22. So that is acceptable. It's outside of the range. That's a simple no. Now the starts further continues. So this is starts again. And this time it is about mean and this thing. So this is about mean. The table summarizes the heights of 180 girls in this thing. Work out the percentage of girls who are taller than 145 centimeters. So mean and basically probability. So percentage over here basically means probability. Greater than 145. So greater than 145 is the 62 and 24. So this is 62 plus 24 divided by 180 into 100. And this comes out to be, it depends on rounding off. I'll write 47.8% rounded off to 3 significant figures. Calculate an estimate of the mean height. We have to use the X value, the mid value. So 125, 135, the mid value is 130. This is 137.5. This is 142.5. This is 147.5. This is 155. So these are the mid values. So we have to use the formula X bar sigma Fx over sigma F. So therefore, this is 130 into 8, 137.5 into 31, 142.5 into 55, 147.5. Let me write it, 147.5 into something, and then 62, and 155 into 24, everything added together divided by 180. You have to naturally use a calculator, and this value rounds off to 144. Again, this is a rounded off value, so do write 3 significant figures. The next question looks like a graph question. Okay, so over here, this is graphical solution of equation. Now the question says that complete the table. So we have to use this value. We have to use the calculator 3. So y is equals to 3 cube over 2 minus 3 into 3 plus 2. And this is 27 over 2. That is 13.5 minus 9 plus 2. 15.5 minus 9, that is 6.5. So this I did without the calculator. On the grid, draw the graph of this thing from minus 3 to 3. So minus 3 and negative 2.5. Negative 3 and negative 2.5 is over here. That's the first one. Negative 2 and 4. Negative 2 and positive 4. Next one. Negative 1 and 4.5. Negative 1 and 4.5. And then we have 0 and 2. And then we have 1 and negative 0.5. 1 and negative 0.5. It's just like over here. And then 2 and 0. And then 3 and 6.5. So that goes over here. Okay. So again, better to mark with small crosses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let me draw it this thing. So let me draw it with a green marker. Hold for a second. So I'm drawing it on iPad, so don't expect that much accuracy from me. And that's how the graph is drawn. Write down the coordinates of the minimum point on the graph where x is greater than 0. What does it mean? Now, first of all, let me reduce it. X greater than 0 means the values of x greater than 0 is this. What is the minimum point? It's somewhere over here. So the minimum point, if I've drawn it all good, I can just focus a bit on this one. So standard eraser, because this will make a difference. Let me just draw it a little bit better. Okay. So now if I draw this part of the curve, okay. So I think the midpoint is somewhere over here. Okay, so let's say the coordinates, so let me enlarge it. This coordinate would be something like this. So this has to be a little bit lesser. So this is 1.3 and negative 0.6. So this is 1.3 and negative 0.6. That is what I see. This is a minimum point, and if it would have asked for a maximum point, that would be somewhere over here, like this. Then it says, use your graph to solve this equation. What is the equation? X cubed over 2 minus 3x plus 2. X cubed over 2 minus 3x plus 2. That means this thing is already y. Y equals to 0. Therefore, it's asking for the x-intercept, which is this, and this. So the extreme right point is x is equals to 2. And the other points are, this is 0, this is 0.5, this is 0.6, and this is 2.5, 2.6, 2.7. So negative 2.7. This is 0.6 and x is equals to 2. So basically, it's asking for the x-intercepts. All we have to do is to make sure or manipulate and make it equal to the equation of the curve. Whatever constant is over here, that is what we are interested in. That means we were interested in the roots. So basically, we drew the line y is equals to 0, which is already drawn. So this is the line y is equals to 0, which is the x-axis. And this is the drawing for which part? This is the drawing for part D. And part B is this thing. The drawing the curve is part B. Now this question is done. Question number 4. This is a simple functions question. Okay, let's get started. Fx is given, gx is given, find f of 8. So f of 8 is basically 8 square minus 7, which is 64 minus 7, 60, and then 3, which is 57. This is 57. G of negative 2. G of negative 2 is 4 minus 3, negative 2 over 2. 4 plus 6 over 2, which is 10 over 2, which comes out to be 5. G inverse of x. Let y equals to gx. Therefore, G inverse y equals to x. So y is equals to 4 minus 3x over 2. Y is equals to 4 minus 3x over 2. 2y is equals to 4 minus 3x. 3x is equals to 4 minus 2y. X is 4 minus 2y over 3. But what is x equals to? G inverse y. Since we have a habit of writing in terms of x, so just change the variable 4 minus 2x divided by 3. So this thing is done. Solve the equation f of 2x plus 1 plus 3. So this is f of x, x square minus 7. So f of 2x minus 1 is basically 2x minus 1 whole square minus 7. Let's first simplify this. So this is 4x square minus 4x plus 1 minus 7. That is 4x square minus 4x minus 6. That is just this much. This much is this. Now solve. This thing plus 3 equals to 0. 4x square minus 4x minus 6. This is this plus 3 equals to 0. 4x square minus 4x minus 3 equals to 0. Middle term factorization. So 4x square negative 6x plus 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Or let me just change the order so it will be more convenient for you. This is plus 2x minus 6x minus 3 equals to 0. 2x 2x plus 1 minus 3, 2x plus 1 equals to 0. 2x plus 1, 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Each bracket equals to 0. And what do you get? We get negative half. We get positive 3 over 2. This is negative half. This is positive 3 over 2. So this question is also done. Question number 5. Now, this looks like a question of probability, most probably. George has 2 bags, each contain black and white ball. So let me write, this is for black. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 black. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 black. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 white. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 white. Now it says George has 2 bags containing black and white. George says, I am more likely, that means higher probability, to take a black from bag 2 than from bag 1. Show that George is correct. So first of all, probability of bag 1, black from bag 1 is how much? That is 4 over 9. Probability of black from bag 2 is how much? That is 5 over 6. Basically, what we have to prove, which fraction is bigger. So 9 and 6. Let's multiply 4 over 9. So let me take 4 over 9, multiply and divide by 6 over 6. That's multiplication by 1. 4 6 are 24. And 9 6 that is, oh my goodness. Hold for a second. I think the total, this is 9, but that's not 9. So that is 11. So I think I have to go ahead and do the correction. It suddenly clicks me that both the denominators were not the same. So purple marker again, that as this is total is 9, this total is 11. So this is 5 over 11. So now what we have to do is that we have to make sure that we have the same denominator. So let me multiply 4 over 9 into 11 over 11. Let me take 5 over 11 into 9 over 9. Any number divided by itself is 1. Any number divided by itself is 1. Basically, 9 into 11 will make it 99. 11 into 9 is 99. So therefore, this is 99 in the bottom, and this is 44. This is 99 in the bottom. This is 45. So this is bigger. This is smaller. Therefore, the statement of George is correct. He is more likely to take a black ball from bag 2 because of higher probability. So this is all good, all clear. Now it says George takes a ball at random from bag 2, notes its color, and replaces it. He repeats it 220 times. So bag 2 replaces it. That means the probability is unchanged. How many times would it expect to take a white ball? So white ball is 6 over 11. So 6 times out of 11, he will take a white ball. But if it's repeated 220 times, so 6, this is white, this is total 11. If it's 220 times, white ball is x. So let's cross multiply. So therefore, x into 11, that is equals to 6 into 220. Therefore, x is 6 into 220 divided by 11. So that is 6 into 20. This comes out to be 120. That is the answer for this part. So basically, it's a concept of ratio related with probability. And further probability is there. Now, tree diagram is also there. A bag contains 7 blue counters, 6 red, and 3 green. So 7 blue, 6 red, and 3 green counters. Yasmin takes 2 counters from the bag at random without replacement. Complete the tree diagram. So 16, 15. So first of all, the denominator should be 15 in each of them. That is the first basic thing that's done. And the second thing is that if we are taking out a blue color and the next color is blue, the numerator also reduces like this. If we are taking out a red color and the other taken out is red, again, the numerator should also be reduced. Just focus on that. Similarly, we can talk about green, and the last one is a green. So the numerator should also be reduced. So therefore, first of all, 7 becomes 6. That is perfect. 6 will become 5 over here. So that is 5. This is not visible. So let me just write it in black. And 3 will become 2. That's how it is. Now, what else is there? That is, the total should add up to, the total numerator should add up to the denominator. 7 plus 6, 13. 13 plus 3, 16. 16 over here. 6 is here. And red and green, they remain the same as before. That is 6 and 3. So this is 6 and this is 3. Double check. 6, 6, 12. 12 plus 3, 15. There is 7. There is 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. So this should be 3. Just the same 3 because green is unchanged. So this is 3. And then what about red? Red is 7 already given. And blue will be the same. Actually, blue is 7. Red is also the same. That is 6. So now 7 plus 6, 13. 13 plus 2, 15. This is all good. Find the probability at least one counter is red. Now let me write the color combination. So this is blue, blue. This is blue, red. This is blue, green. This is blue, red. This is blue, green. And then there is red, blue. First of all, let me write red over here. This is red. This is red, blue. This is red, green. And then we have green, green, green. This is green, green. That's the last one. Green, red, and green, blue. Now, we are interested in at least one of the counter is red. So basically, I can have blue, red. I can have red, blue. I can have red, green. I can have green red, and I can even have red red. So I need 5 of them. That is blue red, red blue. So blue red, red blue, red red, red green, green red. This is at least 1. That is exactly 1 plus exactly 2, because there are total of 2 cards taken out. So blue red, that is 7 and 6. Let me first multiply. This is 7 into 6. And then red blue, that is 6 into 7. Red red, that's 6 into 5. Red green, which one is that? Red green is 6 into 3. Green red, that is 3 into 6. They all have a denominator of 16, 15, 16, 15, and so on. And it's all the possibilities added up together. So let me do the working on the sidelines. Let me just increase the size. 16 into 15 is 240. That's the first thing. So let me write 240 in the denominator. So that is basically this thing. That is this whole thing, this whole thing, this whole thing. So it remains the same. That is 240. Now let's add up the numerator: blue, red, red, blue, and red, red, and this thing and this thing. So this is 42. This is 42. That's 84. And let me use a calculator. So 42, 42, that's 84. Don't take any risk when calculator is allowed. 6 into 5 is 30. That's good. And 6 into 3 is 18. 18 plus 18 is 36. That comes out to be 150. So 150 over 24, which can also be written as 15 over 24, which can also be written as 5, 3 into 5, 3 into 8. So all these options are possible. Does it ask us to reduce? No. So all these are all good. Now let me solve one other question, and then I'll note down the time. So this is vectors. And in vectors, there are 2 possible options, and this looks like something to do with coordinate geometry. So this is vectors, and this is coordinate geometry. The position vector of point A is 4, 7, and the position vector of point B is this. Find the column vector AB. Now, in order to find AB, I'll write AB as OB minus OA. That's a general rule. Position vector of second letter minus position vector of first letter. That is the hard and fast rule. That's a shortcut that you should apply. So what is OB? OB is 9, 2. What is OA? OA is 4, 7. So 9, 2 and 4, 7. Papers are roaming around. 9 minus 2 is 5. And 2 minus 7 is negative 5. That's the first answer. Second part, magnitude of AB. So magnitude of AB, that is 5 square, negative 5 square, square root. That is 25, 25 square root. That is root of 50. We can also write in decimals. That is 7.07. So this is 3 significant figure value, 7.073 SF or root 50. That is exact. So both options are possible. Now the next one, it says ABCD is a parallelogram with sides such and such. BC is this. Find the coordinates of points C and D. So we are still using A and B and BC and AC and things like that. So first of all, let me draw a diagram. So just a rough diagram, something like this. And this red again. And it doesn't have to be exact. It's just for practical purposes. So A is 4, 7, B is 9, 2. A is 4, 7, B is 9, 2. So therefore, let me write this as just a rough diagram. So A, B, C, D, these two are parallel and equal in length. These two are parallel and equal in length. So BC is negative 4, 1. BC is negative 4, 1. This is given. A is given. B is given. Naturally, AB is also known. If we are interested in C, so let me first work for C. So BC is OC minus OB. In other words, BC plus OB is OC. I just made it the subject. BC is negative 4,1. And OB is given at the top. So OB is 9,2. This is OC. So negative 4 plus 9 is 5. 2 plus 1 is 3. This is OC. This is the column vector. Therefore, the coordinate is 5, 3. So this is 5. Let me write it properly. This is 5 and this is 3. The brackets, even they have drawn the brackets for you. So you don't have to draw the brackets. That's already given. And similarly, let's talk about D. So AD is the same thing as BC. So AD is the same thing as BC. AD is OD minus OA. Therefore, AD plus OA is OD. What is AD? AD is BC. BC is negative 4,1 plus OA is equals to OD. So OA is 4,7. So this is 4,7. Therefore, OD is 0 and 8. So OD is 0 and 8. Therefore, the coordinate of D is 0, 8. So therefore, this is 0. This is 8. So that is how this question is done. Now, I think it continues on the next page. P is the point R4. Q is the point TU. So let me highlight this. P is the point R4. Q is the point TU. The midpoint of the line PQ is 1, 3. So let me just draw a line over here. So if this is P, this is Q, the midpoint is 1, 3. Let me label this thing as M. So M is given. The gradient of the line is negative 1/4. So gradient of PQ is negative 1/4. Find the value of R, T, and U. A very nice question related to coordinate geometry. So that was vectors. And this one is coordinate geometry. So now, first of all, P is R4. Q is TU. M is 1, 3. Now focus on the alphabets. So first of all, focus on R, focus on 1, focus on T. Similarly, focus on 4, focus on 3, focus on U. So if I focus on the orange thing and then I focus on the pinkish thing, so the average of the x coordinates, R plus T divided by 2 equals to 1. Therefore, R plus T equals to 2. This is one equation. Similarly, 4 plus U divided by 2 equals to 3. 4 plus U is equals to 6. U comes out to be 2. So U is found. So the first thing is found. So let me write over here, U is 2. That is found. Now, this is equation 1. Let me label it. And then the second equation will be about gradient, the gradient of line PQ. So the gradient of line PQ is negative 1/4. So P is R4, Q is TU, and now U is known. So let me focus on this. U is 2. So this is U, this is 2. So this is now known, which is 2. And this gradient is negative 1/4. So gradient of PQ, just go in this order, which is 4 minus 2, R minus T. This is 2 over R minus T. This is negative 1/4. So 2 over R minus T is negative 1/4. Therefore, cross multiply. So 2 into negative 4, I'm taking the negative along with 4, equals to R minus T. So negative 8 is R minus T. So this is equation 2. Equation 1, R plus T equals to 2. Equation 2, R minus T. R plus T equals to 2. R minus T is equals to negative 8. Add both these equations. So if I add these equations, what happens? 2R is equals to negative 6. R is negative 3. So the value of r is coming out to be -3, and then this is equation 1, equation 2, plug in 1. So -3 plus t equals to 2. T is 2 plus 3, which comes out to be 5. So t is 5, r is -3, and u was given at the top, that is 2. So -3, 5, and 2. And I'll stop over here at 12:05. So how many questions are there? This is, I think, 6 questions are done. So let me go up. So question number 6, 1 till 6, this is done. End time is 12:05. So 35, 40, 42. So 42 minutes are taken for 6 questions. Okay, so let's take a small break. So 12:06 till 12:08. So let's take a small break of 2 minutes. And then we'll start with 12:08, and we will go all the way till the end. That is 7 till the end. So let me pause the recording for right now. So now instead of 12:08, it's 12:10. So let me just make this thing correction. So this is 12:10, and that's a 4-minute break. And now we are starting again. Question number 7 onwards. So this is 12:10 onwards, and let's get started. So now we are looking at this question, which is question number 7. So what exactly is question number 7? Question number 7 is this thing, which is, I think, about transformation. The question says, describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto shape B. So this is A going towards B, like this. This is translation. Just focus on this point. This is 1, 3. And this point is 3 and -2. So basically, we are moving 2 units right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units down. So let me write this down. This is translation. And the translation vector is 2 right, 5 down. So down is negative. The second part, reflect shape A in the x-axis. So if I reflect shape A in the x-axis, 1, 3 will become 1, -3. And 3, 3 will become 3, -3. And 3, 4 will become 3, -4. And 2, 4 will become 2, -4. So let me just join the shape. And this goes like this. Like this. And that's how this graph, this figure is drawn. Okay, so this is reflect shape A in the x-axis. There is no name. Enlarge shape A by a scale factor 2, center 5, 4. So now the center is 5, 4, 5, 4. And we want to enlarge shape A by a scale factor of 2. Now, first of all, if I'll enlarge this, the base instead of 2 will become 4. The height instead of 1 will become 2. And the measurements are taken with respect to this center of enlargement. So what we do is that the rule is, if this is the new center of enlargement, let's call it E, then it's necessary, since it's a positive scale factor, the center of enlargement, COE, the original point, and the image, the object and the image. So I can write original and final. I can write object and image. they would lie in one single line like this. Since E is over here, the center of enlargement, so therefore, since this E is over here and the shape is over here, therefore the image will be over here. Now, the way that we draw it is that, first of all, it's this point is 2 units away from this. So now it should be 4 units away from this. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just mark this point. So this point over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's over here. If I label these points, for example, this is P, this is Q, this is R, this is S. So basically, this is R prime. And that's all I need. So now instead of 1 unit, let me make it 2 units. So now this is 2 units like this. Instead of RQ to be 1 unit, RQ will be 2 units. So this is 1 becoming 2, 1 becoming 2. So let me show you what I've drawn. So this is R prime, this is S prime, this is Q prime. Got the idea? This 1 becomes 2. This 1 becomes this 2. This is R prime. Basically, I just focus on this. This is 2 units. Because of the scale factor 2, this becomes 4 units. And then what is left? The bottom thing, that is this one, the purple one, PQ will now become 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore, this is P prime. And let me join this like this. So let me join it with green color like this. So that's how the figure is drawn. And if you want to double check the coordinates, those coordinates are, this is first of all 1, 2, then it's 1, 4, then it's -1, 4, and this is -3 and 2. So that's how the figure is drawn. They're not asking for the coordinates, are they? No, they're not. So all you have to do is to draw this. Now it says there is a transformation which maps P. Transformation P is represented by this matrix, whatever that is. P maps shape A onto C. Draw and label shape C. So now I can do one thing. Let me write a point over here, such as AB, and let me multiply and see what happens. So 0 into -1 multiplying with AB. So 0 into A, B with a negative sign, minus B. And similarly, 1, 0 with AB. So this is A and 0. So this is this. That means coordinates flip and new X coordinate changes sign. So I'm using this knowledge that what happens when coordinates flip, that happens in rotation. And new X coordinate changes sign. So X is positive, Y is positive. When it goes on the other side, X changes sign. So basically, let me write the second part first. This is a rotation. And it's 90-degree anti-clockwise about origin. So 3 marks for this, which maps A onto C. So basically, 1 mark for rotation, second mark for 90-degree anti-clockwise, third mark for about origin. So you have to write everything. And as far as drawing is concerned, that is easy. Flip the coordinates and change the sign of the X coordinate. So we have A. If I flip it, what happens? So we have this thing that is P is 1, 3. So P, hold for a second. So this is P, that is 1, 3. This is Q, which is 3, 3. And then we have, this is the working I'm doing for part, this is part D, but the diagram is on the first page. P, Q, R is 3, 4. And S, that is 2, 4. So coordinates flip. So 3, 1, 3 becomes 3, 1. 3, 3 remains as 3, 3. 3, 4 becomes 4, 3. 2, 4 becomes 4, 2. New x coordinate changes sign, negative 3, 1, negative 3, 3, negative 4, 3, and negative 4, 2. So negative 3, 1, negative 3, 1 is right over here. And then negative 3, 3, this is P prime. Negative 3, 3 is this one, that is Q prime. And then we have negative 4, 3, negative 4 and 3, that is R prime. And then negative 4, 2, negative 4 and 2, that is this one, that is S prime. So now let's join this thing. So it goes like not that thick. So it goes like this. It goes like this. Okay. So this shape is A onto C. So therefore, let me write C over here on the inside. So this is the shape C. Okay, this thing is done. The reasoning part is done. Find the matrix representing the transformation that maps shape C onto A. So now A into C is P. A into C is the transformation P. So C onto A should be the inverse, P inverse. So first of all, let me write P, which is 0, minus 1, 1, 0. 0, minus 1, 1, 0. And this is P. Determinant of P is 0 into 0 minus 1 into negative 1, which is positive 1. And P inverse will be what? So P inverse would be the 0 and the 0, they change places. So this 0 and 0, they change places. They will be written as 0, 0. And these two will change sign. So negative 1 will become positive 1, and this is negative 1. So this is 0, 1, negative 1, 0. So this is method 1 of finding this. Method 2 is based upon memory. That is, if P is anti-clockwise rotation of 90 degrees, P inverse would be clockwise rotation of 90 degrees. So you can just write P inverse directly. P inverse is 90 degree clockwise. So 0, minus 1, 1, 0. In 90 degree anti-clockwise, the x coordinate changes sign. In clockwise, coordinates flip, that is for sure. And y coordinate changes sign. So y coordinate changes sign, therefore this thing is there after coordinates flipping. So that's how you can write it from memory. Now question number 8. This looks like algebra and quadratics and all this thing, the speed time thing. So this, let me highlight this. This is algebra. And in algebra, we are focusing on quadratics. Lara and Marco each cycle 50 kilometers on a cycle trail. Lara cycles at an average speed of x kilometer per hour. Let me first write distance as speed into time. If I'm making time the subject, that is distance divided by speed. So now for this person, Lara, she cycles at an average speed of x kilometer per hour. And then there is this person, Marco. He cycles at an average speed of x minus 3 kilometers per hour. Write down an expression for the time in hours Lara takes to complete the trail. That's very basic. That is 50 divided by x. And similarly, if they would have asked for Marco, so for Marco, the time taken would be 50 over x minus 3. Now, Marco takes 15 minutes longer. Why? Because Marco is slower. So Marco will be taking more time. So therefore, 50 over x minus 3, this is more time, minus 50 over x. That is the time of Lara. This difference is 1/4 of an hour. 15 minutes is 15 divided by 60, or 1/4 of an hour. So this is 1/4. And now we have to simplify this. So 50 multiplying with something minus this 50, multiplying with something, but before that, the LCM. This is x minus 3, this is x. So now this 50 multiplies with this x. The other 50 multiplies with x minus 3. This comes out to be 1 over 4. So 50x minus 50x plus 150, and this is x squared minus 3x. This is 1 over 4. So 4 into 150, that is 600. And I think there is a 600, that is x squared minus 3x. Therefore, x squared minus 3x minus 600 equals to 0. That is what's given away. Solve this equation. So now we have to use the quadratic formula because this is the hint given. Cannot factorize. Whenever it says give to this many decimal places or this many significant figures, that means you cannot factorize. So ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. X is equals to negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac, the whole thing divided by 2a. So therefore, over here, a is 1 and b is negative 3 and c is negative 600. So therefore, negative 3 plus minus negative 3 square minus 4 into 1 into negative 600 square root divided by 2 times a, 2 times 1. So now what we do is that we can simplify it a bit more. This is 3 plus minus 4 into 6, 24, 2400 plus 9, 2409 square root divided by 2. And then we can write x as 3 plus square root of 2409 divided by 2. X as 3 minus square root of 2409 divided by 2. And now use a calculator at this point after you have shown all the working. So the positive answer is coming out to be 26.04. And this answer is coming out to be negative 23.04. These two answers are given correct to 2 decimal places. This is the value of x. What is x? X is the speed. Now, later on, not right now, later on, we have to discard this because speed cannot be negative. Okay? But right now, you have to give this value for this particular part in order to gain 3 marks. Find the time Marco takes to complete the train. So Marco is taking 50 over x minus 3. So Marco is the green person. So time for Marco is 50 over x minus 3. X is 26.04. 50 over 26.04 minus 3. That is 50 over 23.04. And let me first divide. 50 divided by 23.04. After the subtraction of 3, this comes out to be, I'm just looking for the button which converts, and 625 over 288. It's giving me this fraction, 625 divided by 288. So now let me just convert it. And this comes out to be, there is this is 625, that becomes 2 hours and 10 minutes. So this is 2 hours in 10 minutes. We convert the decimals into minutes. Now this question number 9, this looks like some kind of algebra again, simple algebra. So now this is again algebra, and let's see what it is. Kate thinks of a number. She subtracts 8 from it and multiplies the result by 3. So the number is in. She subtracts 8, multiplies the result by 3. The answer is 11 less than the number she thought of. So this answer is n minus 11. I mean, this is something like basic algebra. So therefore, 3n minus 24 is n minus 11. 3n minus n, 2n. This is 24 minus 11. So therefore, 2n is 13. n as 6.5, n as 6.5. Write a single fraction in its simplest form. X square minus 4 divided by 2 into 4 over x square plus 2x, that is x plus 2. Actually, let me first write it as it is. Now, if I factorize this x square minus 4, so x square minus 4 is difference of two squares, that's x plus 2, x minus 2. If I factorize this thing, which is exactly this is x square plus 2x, that's x plus 2. So therefore, over here, we will write x bracket x plus 2. Over here, we will write x plus 2, x minus 2. And this 4 remains as it is, multiplication remains as it is, 2 remains as it is. So now x plus 2 cancels off. So therefore, we are left with 4 bracket x minus 2 over 2. And let me just double check. Yeah, 4 goes up, 2 goes down. And this is 2x, and x also remains. So 2x also is there. So this is 2x minus 2 over x. Leave the answer as it is. 2x minus 2 over x. So we will left with this, and this cancels out. This gives us 2. This x remains, that's over here. And this is what we get. Now, question number 10, that is trigonometry. Now, the question says the diagram shows the position of 3 towns, P, Q, and R. Q is on a bearing of 052 from P. Q is on a bearing of 052 from P. So let me label this first thing. This is 052 degrees. This first thing is labeled. And then the rest of the distances are given. And calculate the bearing of R from Q. So R from Q. So I'd be drawing a north line like this. And R from Q, I would be needing this angle. So this is the unknown angle that I'd be working for. Now, before that, what do I need? If I have an angle, if I'm able to calculate, you have to devise a strategy. If I'm able to calculate this angle, I have this angle given, that is 180 minus 52. So that's 130 and 128. This is 128. If I'm able to find this angle, let me label as theta. So 128 plus theta plus this thing should add up to 360 degrees. There could be more than one way of doing it. So if I use cosine rule, so therefore 17.2 square is equals to 11.5 square plus 14.6 square minus 2 into 11.5 into 14.6 into cosine of this angle theta. Okay. So therefore 17.2 square minus 11.5 square minus 14.6 square divided by negative 2 into 11.5 into 14.6 is equals to cosine of theta. So let me first make cosine theta the subject, then I'll be able to find theta. And once I found theta, theta plus 128 degrees plus, let me label this thing as beta, should add up to 360 degrees. I'll find the value of beta, that is my bearing. Okay, so let me use a calculator. That is 17.2 square minus 11.5 square minus 14.6 square. So this comes out to be negative 4957 over 100. That is 49.57. So that is negative 49.57 divided by, let me multiply 2 into 11.5 into 14.6. This is 1679 over 5. 1679 over 5. So if I divide 49.57 divided by a fraction, 1679 over 5. 1679, and downstairs it's a 5. This comes out to be, this is also negative. This comes out to be 4957 divided by 33580. My calculator is set on the exact form mode. So now if I use shift, and this is cosine inverse, and 4957, and this is 33580, 33580, and then we are closing the bracket, and this answer is coming out to be 81.51. So beta is 360 minus 128 minus 81.51. This comes out to be, okay, 150.49. So beta is 150.49, and there is no level of accuracy except the one at the beginning. So therefore 150.5, that is the bearing, or 150.5. Yeah, that's the answer for this part. A is a point on horizontal ground. A is a point on horizontal ground. I think this is the next part. The angle of elevation of the top of a vertical mast from A is 68 degrees. Correct to the nearest degree. The distance is correct to the nearest meter. Calculate the lower bound for the height. Okay, let me draw a diagram first. So there is a vertical mast, and the distance of the base from the mast is this much, 45 from A. So this goes like this. Okay, let me just adjust it. So this is A. This is the vertical mast. And this is 68 degrees, correct to the nearest degree. And the distance is 45 meters. Let me draw another line. This angle is 68 degrees. So now 68 degrees, the lower bound is nearest degree, that's unit. That is 67.5 degrees, upper bound 68.5 degrees. Calculate the lower bound at 45 meters. The lower bound 44.5. This is lower bound, and this is 45.5. This is upper bound. So now it says that calculate the lower bound for the height of the mast. So the height is h. Okay. So now if I use tangent of 68 degrees is h over this thing, which is 45. Now, what we can do is that I need a lower bound. So I need a lower bound. That means this 45, I should use the upper bound value. And tangent of 68 should be, this value should be lower bound. So the reason is, if two things are multiplying, first of all, I can say h is the product of these two. I think that is it. So let me just use the lower bound. Hold for a second. So for h, I'll use the lower bound. I'll use the lower bound. Why? Because it's a product of these two. So since I need a product of these two, this should be lower bound, this should be lower bound. That makes more sense. So h is equals to 45 will be written as 44.5 multiplying with tangent of this thing, which is 67.5 degrees. So let me just evaluate. So tangent, and this is 67.5. That comes out to be 2.41 something multiplying with 44.5. This comes out to be 107 point something. So this comes out to be 107.4. This is one decimal place because we are looking at for the nearest meter. So that is all good, all clear. Question number 11. What is this question about? Question number 11, it looks like polygon, 3D mensuration, something like that. So this is a combo of polygon and 2D and 3D mensuration. Now this question is about, the diagram shows a regular pentagon. AB is 6, OA is D. AB is 6, OA is D. Show that D is this much. Now, first of all, let me draw some lines. So first of all, let me draw this line like this. And let me draw a vertical line like this. And let me draw a horizontal blue line. Now, first of all, if I draw another green line like this whole angle over here, this should be 360 degrees divided by 5 because it's a regular pentagon. That is 72 degrees. Therefore, just this much is 36 degrees. So 36 and 36. So this 6 is divided into two parts, 3 and 3. So therefore, if I use sine, so sine of 36 degrees, that is equals to 3 over d. So therefore, d is 3 over sine of 36 degrees. This comes out to be 5.10. That's the value of this thing in meters. The second one, the volume of a pyramid, it's given, is this much. That's the volume. And now it says the regular pentagon forms the base of a pyramid. So now this pentagon we are talking about. And the vertex F is vertically above O. So vertex F is vertically above O. The length of each of the sloping edge is 14 centimeter. Calculate the volume. So that is the height. And the sloping edges, they are 14 each. So this is 14. That is like this. Okay. And this thing is given. OA, I think we just calculated, right? OA, we did not calculate, but we can. So let's work it out. No, OA is D. OA is D, 5.10. So first of all, we know that OA is 5.10. Use three significant figures. So D, 5.10, it was something. Use three significant figures, 1. And then this is 14. So let me draw this. This is like this. The reddish one, the long one, is like this. And then the blue one is this thing. So it's a rough diagram. So this is, grab this thing. This is F, this is O, this is A, this is 5.10, this is F, this is 14, this is right angle. So therefore, 14 square is equals to 5.10 square plus OF square. So OF square would be, let me use a calculator. 14 square is 196. So 196 minus 5.1 square. And this comes out to be this thing. If I use this answer, and let me take the square root of this answer. I'm just looking for the answer thing. And this comes out to be 13.08. So therefore, this is 13.038. This is after the square root. Okay, so now this thing is done. This is OF. Now we have the height, that is OF. Base area, what's the base area? That's over here. Area of triangle OAB, that is half into base into height, that's one thing. Or I can use half AB sine C. So half into D into sine of 72 degrees. So half into 5.10 square into sine of 72 degrees. So this is area of base. That's a pentagon. That is half into 5.10 square into sine of 72 degrees. So now the volume is 1/3 of that. So volume is 1/3 base area into height. So this is the height. That is 13.038. This is the height. The base area is here. That is half into 5.10 square into sine of 72 degrees. Now use calculator at the very last. And when we multiply it out, this comes out to be 269 centimeter cube, correct to 3 significant figures. So that completes the paper. It's 12:44. So let me write it. So 12:10, 12:44. That is 34 minutes from question number 7 all the way till question number 11. So 42 and 34. That is 76 minutes. 76 minutes with a 4-minute break. 4-minute break. That's perfectly normal. That is 80 minutes. That's 1 hour and 20 minutes, which is too good for a 2.5-hour paper. This is the time allocated. We finish in this time. So that completes today's session.